This segment is brought to you by Cypress Stop, home of the happy customer. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls, and joining us now is the captain of the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Department, Captain Brennan Mathern. Captain, good to have you on board. How are you today, sir?
Hi, Martin. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, we got a big week coming. We have the National Night Out, and I would like for you to talk about that a little bit and add whatever you want to, but this is always big for law enforcement.
Absolutely. This is one of our best nights of the year where our deputies get out in the community and have positive interactions with the community. We can talk about really anything that the community wants to talk about. Certainly crime prevention and things of that nature is on the list. People always want to know what's the best way to stay informed. How can they understand what's going on in their neighborhood? Of course, it's an opportunity for us to push things like our mobile app and different ways that people can stay informed. But as you saw with the graphic, and we posted it on social media as well as our website, it's actually 18 block parties. You see that one all the way down to the left, the Ebenezer Christian Community Fellowship in Raceland. They have had to cancel due to illnesses that have struck the church. But so that leaves us with 18 block parties, still a plethora of parties up and down Bayou Lafourche, stretching from the north end to the south end. Each party is going to begin at 6 o'clock and end somewhere usually between the 8 and 9 o'clock hour. And Martin, the cool part about this, one of the things that Sheriff Weber and I always tout when we're given presentations in other places is our parish is very not only unique to the rest of the country, but unique in and of itself because we have so many different communities up and down Bayou Lafourche, and each has its own flavor, so to speak. And its own customs and culture, and that's what makes living here so awesome. And so when you're going to these different parties, they all look very wildly different. If you go to a party at the Oak Ridge Community Park in Golden Meadow, it's going to be very different than the party, say, at the Bayou Blue Volunteer Fire Station. So each of them are very unique to their community and offer different things for kids and adults. Opportunities to, as we've been doing the last few years, paint handprints on these vehicles. We're also going to have food and refreshments. And Martin, if you don't mind indulging us, we'd like to thank our community partners, Lamb Food Service, Cisco, and Rendezvous Dining, Catering, and Events for providing the food and drinks that'll be at all of these parties. We also want to thank TSW Roofing and Construction for providing the paint that we're going to be able to use on the deputies' vehicles. But again, very exciting time, an awesome evening for us coming up on Tuesday at 6 o'clock with National Night Out Against Crime.
Let me ask you something, Captain, because it's always good to be on the ground, especially with the young kids that come to these functions. The parents want to know what's happening in the neighborhood, but the kids, they go there to eat and have fun and run around, but when they come into contact with the police officers, isn't this a golden opportunity for you all to sort of bridge with them a little bit and teach them a little bit and maybe entice them one day to be in law enforcement?
Exactly. And, the sad part, Martin, is for a lot of our officers, those one-on-one interactions are rarely positive. You'll hear stories like a deputy will be in line at a grocery store and a parent has a child that's being a little fussy and, they'll say, oh, well, if you don't behave, we're going to get him to arrest you. And of course, they turn it into like a joke. But the problem with that is it ends up with, kids who probably shouldn't have a fear of law enforcement. They grow up with that fear and it tends to lead to not a lot of trust. So having an event like this where we don't have to worry about those sort of interactions, we get to interact on a positive basis. And whether it's a jump house or, just games around the neighborhood, it allows our deputies to interact, playing basketball, whatever it may be at a particular site. It allows for that positive interaction. And you can take down some of those barriers and walls that may have created that distrust in past years.
Yeah, and that's so important for that relationship in the community. And I've been knowing you for a long time, and I mean, you've been communicating to people for a long time, but doesn't that give you some joy as a captain? I know if I ask the sheriff this question, the sheriff has been around as long as Moses, but when people come up to you during these events and they want to engage in conversation, that's just a chance too for them to get to know you. And doesn't it make them feel good when they could talk with the captain or the sheriff? It makes them feel good. They walk away going, that was a pretty neat guy.
Well, I'm sure it's the same for you. I mean, as a guy that they see on TV bringing them community news, it's a rare opportunity when you are out in public that you get to meet the person that kind of has that one-way communication for them. So yeah, for people like me and the sheriff, but certainly all of our deputies who, when you're interacting, it's usually in an emergency or in a time of crisis. So to be able to kind of take all that away and have a moment to relax on both sides, not just us, but the community as well. You're not calling somebody on the worst day of your life. It's a celebratory manner. So to be able to interact with people, it always brings a smile to our face. And, again, it's these positive interactions that keep us going, Martin. As you know, I'm sure that you can attest to this in the news field. It's rare that you're going to get thanks. You're going to get a lot of criticism for sure. But in these times and in these type of events, when you hear those thank yous, it just goes a long way, and it sort of recharges those deputies for a night like this.
All right. Thank you, Captain. Once again, Tuesday, October 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. Check out the Lafourche Parish Sheriff's Office website for more details. Thank you a lot, Captain. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Martin.
All right. We'll be right back. This segment was brought to you by Cypress Stop, home of the happy customer.